Gabie. Welcome to Gabie's Knit Goodies. I just wanted to quickly hop on here and show you a couple of things I've been working on because it's been a while since I've podcasted. The first one is a knit Before I do that, like I said, my name is Gabie, and this is Gabie's Knit Goodies, and welcome. You can find me on Ravelry and Instagram at Gabie's Goodies, and you can find me on Love Knitting as well. And my first whip is a design by Caitlin Hunter. It starts with an M, but I don't know how to pronounce it, so I'll put that information down below here. And I am almost done. Ta-da! She has a collection of like short sleeve tops that she's doing. And this one just caught my eye. I really like the color work because it's like a big flower here. I think it's Missouri, or it's not actually Missouri. It's someplace she wants to visit, I believe. She named it. She has a whole line that she's naming after places she wants to see. So the yarn I am using, I got from Center of the Yarniverse in Ashland, Virginia. And it is, it's a cute yarn store that's not too far from where I live. And they had a sale. You know, I am terrible about sales. I can't resist. I also had birthday and Christmas money from my mom to spend at the yarn store. So I did. And this is a beautiful yarn that is 60% extra fine merino, 20% baby alpaca, and 20% yak. And here is the little slip here. It's Berroco. Can't pronounce the yarn name thing there. And I have two colorways. They're in color numbers. Let's see, 1, 3, 2, 1. I don't know how well you can see that. And the other one is 1370. I don't know if it's focusing well. So, I'm not sure which color is which because the numbers are not very descriptive and I don't have it paired with anything. So I'm using those two colorways. Oh, you know how I could find out is I have, 1321 is the base color, that main color there, and then the 1370 is the contrasting color. Let's see, you start off with the little ribbing, and I knew I would be playing yarn chicken with this base color because I didn't have enough yarn for it. I didn't have enough yardage for that the pattern called for. However, I decided to try anyways. The only reason I didn't have enough yarn is because I bought all of the color that they had, and I knew it was just a little bit less than I needed. But I also knew that my contrasting color would be a little extra. So I knit this little neck ribbing just a row or two short, just to save every little bit of yarn I could. I did do the short rows in the back. She doesn't have a lot of short rows, but you can tell there's a little extra room in the back compared to the front between the lace work and the ribbing. So then you do lace work, and then she has little cables here between each color work section. And you do increase within the color work section for that yoke. And then the body actually has two different options. So you divide for your sleeves and you put them on waist yarn. That's where I'm at now. That's the next thing for me to do is pick up for my sleeves. But there's two options for the body. I chose the eyelets, and you could also choose a pearl bump texture instead of the eyelets. I think it turned out really pretty. I really, really like the eyelets. The other thing I did to try to save yarn or to make the body as long as I possibly could, I kept knitting until I felt like I was really pushing it, and then I bound off, or then I did my ribbing and bound off. But I only did, let's see, maybe 3 rows of the ribbing at the bottom, so I was a little worried because it was flipping up. But I blocked it to see, and it seems to be staying down. However, it's still slightly damp, but I think it will stay down and work. Crossing my fingers for that. So here is my debate. I have the sleeves to do, and it's supposed to be short sleeves, not long sleeves. But my two options, I have a tiny bit of yarn left. It's probably enough to, or possibly enough, to pick up the stitches around here and then just bind off. Not even to pick up under the arm, just to like pick up and bind off these stitches here. Or, this is what I'm leaning towards, is take this and do a contrasting little ribbing on my sleeve. I don't know. What do you think? So I would have just a little bit, whoops. It's not supposed to have contrasting sleeves. It's supposed to have that main body. But I would have just a little bit of the darker color on my sleeves. I think that's what I'm going to do. And I don't think I'm going to knit that part very long. For one, I don't have a huge amount of yarn, but I think a large amount of the contrasting color would kind of maybe detract from the color work. And I'm thinking maybe something, maybe about that deep right here, just a little ribbing would work. I don't know. I will try it and find out. You guys will see later. But I'm happy with it. It was a quick knit because it's short sleeves, and it just, you know, it's not a giant sweater. Oh, one of the big things I did was I used, let's see, size 3 for my ribbing, US size 3 for my ribbing, and then I went up to a size 5 for the body, because it's supposed to be a loose knit, and she calls, I think, for a 4 maybe in the pattern, and that was just too small. I think I went up to a 5. If a 5 is incorrect, I will list it here and tell you exactly what size I went up to. I know I did a 3 for my ribbing here and here, and I can't remember if I went up to a 5 or a 6 on the main body. But I love this yarn. It is soft as, I mean, there's no scratch factor whatsoever in it. It's just beautiful and squishy and soft. The one thing I fear is, in terms of it being a summer garment, it's not really going to work because I think this part will be quite warm. And a lot of that's due to both the fact that it's colorwork, so it's kind of double layered, but also because of the yarn I chose. Her pattern, she has a wool linen, I believe, mixture for her yarn that she used. But I just loved this, and I love the colors. It's very similar to what she did in terms of color. I think it turned out really nice. Super happy. Yay. Okay, and I have one more whip. And this one is of my own making. Or of my own design. Let me put it that way. They're all of my own making, I suppose. It is using Knit Picks Hawthorne yarn. I got a set, a very beautiful set of yarn, like a fade set, with multiple different colors. I'll have to get the other colors I'm going to use in this sweater. I held on to this yarn for a long time. It's from back in 2020, I believe is when I purchased it. And this actually goes with my gkgstashbustinkal, which I will put up some pictures of the other people's Stash Bustin' Cal entries right now. But I am going to make a cardigan out of this. I debated because I loved the whole set and I loved all the colors and I just could not figure out what to knit with it. But one of the items that I feel like I would really use and really love in my wardrobe is a fingering weight cardigan. Just a really easy to wear, kind of a little bit bigger and just comfy and simple. And I was in the mood for a very simple knit as well. So I am making this fun cardigan with just a simple texture, and then I'm going to fade it from one yarn to another as I go. So it is a cardigan, and I'm knitting it back and forth, cast on at the collar, and it is raglan. It looks really small here because I have it on small needles, and of course I haven't finished a row. But as you can see, it's raglan increase, and it's just a simple texture. On the front side, you just knit everything, and you do your increases during the increase section. And then on the back side, you primarily just do knit and purls until you come to your little markers for your raglan. And that creates a lovely texture. It's kind of like a moss stitch, but it's way simpler to do than like a seed stitch. Yeah, and something I don't love at all is picking up button bands, and so this, you are knitting the button band while you are knitting the rest of the garment. So as you can see, the little button band is a nice little ribbed button band here, so that when you are done with your garment and you picked up your sleeves and knit your sleeves, you don't have to pick up a button band either. Isn't that wonderful? I think it's wonderful. But one thing I love about this, with the texture and this fun yarn, I really like how the colors are coming together. It reminds me of like a Monet painting, like Impressionist painting. If I had done this in just stockinette stitch, you get those little streaky lines, which would kind of still give that Monet impression, I think. But doing it with texture just really, really, I think, adds to the yarn. I think they play really well together, both the texture and the yarn. So I'm excited about this. It's one I keep in my bag all the time because I can pick it up and knit it. It's very simple. I haven't started it very long ago, but I've been keeping it in my bag ever since I started it. So there, I've just gotten from the neckband here to maybe the top of the shoulder. So I like it. Yay. All right, that's all I wanted to show you guys today. It's short and sweet and simple. I just wanted to get something out there. Please continue to submit to gkgstashbustinkal. I love to see what you were working on, and I love to see the creativity and the use of your stash yarn. As you can see, I can't resist new yarn either, so that's okay. This is not about being strict about using stash yarn, it's just about being intentional about what we're picking and not wasting all that beautiful yarn. Break it out and do something with it, right? I think one of my problems with that is waiting for the perfect project to go with the yarn, or not wasting some beautiful yarn on like a simple, easy knit that maybe you don't feel ahead of time is fancy enough or great enough for this super special yarn that you've spent lots of money on. And so I get into the hole of, you know, saving it for something special, and then it just never gets used, and so it's a total waste. So that's why I went ahead and cast this on, and I'm so glad I did because I'm loving it. Oh, one more thing. I wanted to show you the rest of the yarn that's going to be in this sweater. So I'll be right back. Okay, I have this one, and then it's going to go into this one here, which you can see it has some of these same corally colors, and it even has a little bit of that blue in there, but then it has a little more purple. It's really pretty. This one is, like I said, Hawthorne fingering. I don't know what color. Lents. Lents is the color. And then that one's going to go into this one, which it pulls in the blues from here and the grays, and this one has a little bit of black too, into this one. And then the last one is the black. And as you can see, well, it's a kettle dot black, so it's black and gray, but this one has black in it, and so they tie together. So I'm super excited. It's going to be a big faded fingering weight cardigan. It's going to be so much fun. I love it. Thanks for watching. I hope you're having a great time knitting, and that your spring is going really well, and that your flowers are blooming. Or if you're not in my weather line, I just hope that you're just having a wonderful time. Bye.